The end is near. Jamie Fraser has carried his love for Claire across time, across war, and across every cruel twist of fate. Now the question burns brighter than ever. How does a love like theirs end for years? Jamie and Claire have lived. A love story written in fire and blood. They've been tested by war, by betrayal, by loss, and by destiny itself. And yet through it all, they held on to each other. That bond has become the heartbeat of Outlander. A story of devotion stretched between centuries. As Season 8 opens, the air is heavy with finality. The Frasers know that every choice they make now carries weight far beyond themselves. Amy looks toward the horizon with the eyes of a man who has fought too many battles and yet is willing to fight one more if it means keeping his family safe. Claire, scarred by time and grief, holds him close because she knows that history is not kind. Two lovers who dare to challenge it. The American Revolution deepens around them, threatening everything they have built. Armies march, loyalties shift, and danger presses in from every side. The Fraser Ridge that once promised peace now stands at the edge of war. For Jamie, the land is more than home. It is his legacy, a promise to his children, and a symbol of everything he has endured. To lose it would be to lose a part of himself. But fate is not satisfied with testing them through war alone. Whispers of prophecy, visions of death, and the shadows of past choices begin to haunt Claire. She is a woman who has walked through time, yet she carries the weight of knowing that the one thing she cannot change is mortality. The thought of losing Jamie strikes her deeper than any blade. She has saved countless lives. But how can she save the man? Destiny itself seems determined to claim the love between Jamie and Claire has always been more than romance. It has been survival. In Season 8, survival comes at a cost higher than either of them ever imagined. Each moment together feels sharper, brighter, as though they both know the sands of time are slipping away. They laugh, they argue, they touch with a tenderness that hides the storm gathering around them. Every embrace feels like it could be. The last dot, this is the beginning of the end, not just of their story, but of the legend that has carried fans through years of passion, tragedy, and triumph. The journey is far from over, but the path ahead is darker than ever. Jamie and Claire are stepping into a future where love may not be enough to shield them from the final hand of fate. Asterisk, the storm of war is closing in. The American colonies are on fire, and Jamie Fraser stands in the middle of history's turning point. He is not just a soldier anymore. He is a leader, a protector, a man torn between loyalty to his people and loyalty to the woman who has given him everything. Every decision he makes now carries the weight of countless lives. The battlefield is no longer far away. It reaches their doorstep, threatening the ridge, threatening the fragile peace they have built. Soldiers march with flags raised, muskets loaded, and the thunder of cannons shakes the ground. Jamie knows he has lived through many wars, yet this one feels different. It is not only about freedom or land, it is about survival for the family he loves. Claire feels that pressure too. She has always been strong, always willing to fight alongside him, but the fear in her heart is deeper than before. She knows the pages of history cannot always be rewritten. Her hands, skilled in healing, tremble with the knowledge that even she cannot stop every wound. She looks at Jamie with quiet desperation, knowing that time itself may not be enough to protect him. From what lies ahead, enemies gather in the shadows. Some wear the red coats of the British crown, others hide behind smiles and false alliances. Betrayal has always haunted the Frasers, and now it strikes closer than ever. Friends can turn into foes, and allies into traitors. In the chaos of revolution, trust becomes the rarest weapon of all. For Jamie, the greatest battle is not with musket or sword, but with destiny itself. He has defied death before, but he feels its shadow more closely now. Every glance at Claire, every touch of her hand, carries the unspoken truth that this war may demand the one thing neither of them is ready to surrender: his life or hers. The fire of rebellion consumes everything around them, yet their bond burns brighter still. Claire whispers promises in the dark, Jamie swears oaths on the battlefield, and together they stand as one. But history is merciless, and war shows no kindness to lovers who dare to stand against it. The final conflict has begun, and the Frasers are caught in its center, facing choices that could shatter not only their love, but the very future of the world they know. The war may rage outside, but the greater storm brews in silence. Claire begins to see visions she cannot explain, whispers from the past, warnings from the future, and shadows that slip between both. She has lived with the gift of knowledge from another time, but now that gift feels like a curse. The lines between prophecy and memory blur until she can no longer tell which is real and which is yet to come. Jamie watches her with concern. He knows her strength, he trusts her wisdom, but he also feels the weight pressing on her spirit. Each time her eyes drift into silence, each time her hand tightens, as though she is holding on to something unseen, he fears she is fighting a battle he cannot join. He has carried her through war and hunger and grief, yet he cannot fight the visions that haunt her mind. Among the whispers comes one that terrifies her most. A future where she returns to the stones, leaving Jamie behind in the past. The thought pierces her like a blade. She has crossed centuries for him, risked everything to remain by his side. But what if time itself decides to claim her once more? What if her destiny is not to stay, but to go? Jamie too carries his own shadow. The prophecy of his death has always lingered. He has walked close to the grave before, but in this season the air around him grows heavier with fate. Feels deeper. Every glance at the horizon carries a question he cannot voice. Is this the end he has been marching toward all his life? The revelations cut deeper when allies speak of secrets long hidden. Old promises resurface, debts from the past return, and the truth of what lies ahead begins to unfold like a warning that cannot be ignored. The war outside may be fought with muskets and blades, but the battle for the Frasers is being waged by time itself. Mystery weaves through every moment. Claire holding on to a vision of Jamie's blood on her hands. Jamie dreaming of Claire's voice calling to him from a place he cannot reach. Both know that destiny has always followed them. Both fear that it may now be closing in with final certainty. They stand together, stronger than ever, but the question grows heavier with each passing day. Can love truly defy the pull of prophecy, or will history finally write the ending they have spent their lives trying to resist? The final moments of Jamie and Claire's journey rise like a storm breaking over the horizon. Every glance they share feels heavier. Every touch burns with the knowledge that their time together may soon run out. They stand in the middle of a world tearing itself apart, yet all that truly matters is the bond that has carried them across centuries. The battlefield is not only outside, it is within their hearts. Jamie has always been a man ready to sacrifice himself, but now the cost feels unbearable. He sees the fear in Claire's eyes, the silent plea that he hold on, that he live not only for honor or duty but for her. She has crossed oceans of time to be with him, and the thought of losing him now is more than she can bear. Claire too is tested in ways that cut deeper than any blade. She has fought to heal others, to bend destiny itself, yet she knows that no power can hold back the tide of time forever. Her tears fall not for herself, but for the man who has given her a love that defies reason, a love that has made her risk everything. She clings to Jamie, whispering promises into the dark, swearing that no matter what history demands, their story will not end in silence. The world around them shakes with war, yet their love is louder than the roar of cannons. In a quiet moment, Jamie presses his forehead to hers, and the unspoken truth passes between them, even if fate claims one. Their bond will live on in every heartbeat, in every memory, in every echo of the centuries they defied together. Season 8 brings their love to its breaking point. Fans will watch as destiny closes its hand, as choices are made that can never be undone. But within that storm lies the heart of Outlander, the unshakable truth that Jamie and Claire's love was never bound by time, never limited by death, and never silenced by history. Their story ends, but their legend begins. The closer Jamie and Claire move toward their final chapter, the more the air around them feels heavy with fate. Every night is filled with dreams that carry warnings. Every day brings choices that feel like the edge of destiny. Claire begins to sense that time is no longer their ally. It is a force pulling them toward an ending that neither can escape. Visions follow her like a shadow. In the quiet of the night, she sees Jamie's face pale with death, his blood staining her hands. In the brightness of day, she hears voices from the stones calling her back to the future she once left behind. These are not gentle whispers, but sharp cries of a destiny that refuses to let her rest. Jamie feels the weight as well, though he hides it behind courage. He knows his life has always been marked by prophecy. He has survived battles where death should have claimed him, and he has defied history itself to stand beside Claire. But in this season, his every step feels like it is being measured. Every glance toward the horizon reminds him that his story may be nearing its last page. The people around them speak of omens. Old secrets rise again. Prophecies long forgotten find their way back into the present. Enemies and allies alike seem to know that the Frasers are not just fighting a war of muskets and armies. They are struggling against the threads of destiny itself. Claire refuses to surrender. She looks at Jamie with the fire of a woman who has crossed centuries for love. She vows to fight fate as fiercely as she has fought every enemy before. She believes that love can rewrite history, that the bond they share can silence even the voice of prophecy. Yet beneath her courage lies a fear she cannot shake. What if this time love is not enough? What if history finally claims its victory? The mystery deepens with each step. The revelations come not as answers, but as more questions. Will Jamie survive the war that history already wrote? Will Claire remain by his side, or be forced once again to walk through the stones? Is their ending one of parting, or one of eternal union beyond time? The shadow of fate is closing in, and for the first time their love may not be the shield that saves them, but the fire that destiny seeks to test to its breaking point. The world grows louder with war. Yet for Jamie and Claire, the loudest sound is the silence that lingers between them. They feel it in every look, in every heartbeat, the knowledge that time is slipping from their hands. It is not just another battle or another trial. This is the edge of their story, and they both sense it. Jamie holds her as though he is memorizing the shape of her body, the warmth of her skin, the sound of her breath. He does not speak of endings, but Claire feels it in the way his hands tremble when he pulls her close. His love has always been fierce, unshakable, but now it carries a weight of farewell. A tenderness that belongs to a man who fears this may be his last chance to hold the woman he gave his soul to. Claire, too, is caught between strength and grief. She has lived a life stretched across centuries, faced loss and pain beyond measure, yet Jamie is the one anchor she cannot imagine losing. She whispers to him in the stillness of night, words filled with promise, words meant to defy fate itself. She tells him that no war, no prophecy, no hand of history can break the bond they share. But her voice cracks, and he knows that her courage is laced with fear. The revolution rages. But the true battle lies in their hearts. Every kiss feels like a vow, every embrace like a shield against destiny. Yet both of them know the truth. Love this powerful does not end in peace. It ends in fire, in sacrifice. In a farewell that shakes the soul, Jamie looks at her with eyes that have seen battlefields and blood, yet they soften when they find hers. He tells her she is his forever, whether in this life or the next. Claire holds him tighter, not ready to let go, not ready to accept that fate might claim the man who has given her everything. The farewell is not spoken aloud, yet it hangs between them like the final note of a song. Their love is eternal, but the world they stand in is merciless. And as the horizon darkens with war, the shadow of parting grows closer. The final chapter of Outlander is not just an ending, it is a reckoning. Jamie and Claire have fought against time, against war, against prophecy itself. Yet in the end, they cannot escape the truth that every story must close. The revelation comes like thunder. Their love has changed the course of history, but it has also bound them to destiny. Every choice they made, every sacrifice they endured, has led to this moment. The vision of Claire walking back to the stones, the shadow of Jamie falling on the battlefield, the whispers of a love that defies death. All of it now converges in Season 8. Fans will hold their breath as the truth unfolds. Will Jamie Fraser meet the fate long foretold, or will Claire's defiance of time grant them one last miracle? Will the stones claim her once again, tearing her from the life she fought to build? Or will she remain by his side until the final heartbeat? The trailer for this final season is more than a promise. It is a warning. A love story that began with a leap through time will reach its most powerful, most heartbreaking conclusion. And though the ending may break hearts, it will also remind the world why this story has endured for so long. Jamie and Claire's love was never ordinary. It was fire against darkness, hope against despair, passion against the silence of history. Their ending will not erase that legacy. It will seal it forever. Outlander Season 8, the ending of Jamie and Claire revealed. The final farewell to a love that conquered time itself.